this team plays with a lot of spirit for Travis. Just a thought on the challenge for the Oilers, and it has been a challenge in this building over the last couple of years against this squad.
Well, they play with tempo, and when you play with tempo and you don't get discouraged, you come back in games. They've got points late in games. They've won games late. That isn't an accident. You got to be able to keep the pace. So I think this is going to be a really fast hockey game. I think there's going to be a lot of tempo in the game, and obviously first goal, in a division rivalry, you want to make a good account of yourself. So we look like we had good energy this morning. Yesterday was a good off day for us, and hopefully we can bring it out today.
Hitch, you called Connor McDavid fearless and reckless. He understands the first part, the fearless. What do you mean by the reckless part? Going to areas that maybe skilled players would normally go?
Yeah, well, doing things that are uncomfortable with the puck, and that's you spend your whole life teaching it, and he already does it, and it's a hard thing to teach. And when a player has it in his DNA already, it's pretty good. It's something that you can really feel like you're fortunate to watch something like that, because he goes into areas that make me feel uncomfortable on the bench, but he doesn't have a problem doing it. So I don't want to discourage him, but it's pretty impressive.
Connor and Leon are a major heater right now. They got 24 points over the last 5 games. Is this?
Yeah, short pass support. They stop making long plays, and they're not going away from the puck. They're coming to the puck, and when you've got people that have size and skill that come to the puck, it's hard to defend. So the big change in their game is that they're not looking for space, they're willing to work for space, and there's a big difference, and that's what they've done. They've really done a hell of a job at buying into the short game, and knowing that at the end of the day, the short game equals a big positive production for a lot of players. But it's hard. It's hard way to play, but they've really bought in right away, and we've helped them along by showing examples when they do it right or wrong. But for the most part, they've really bought into this concept, and it's helped them have numbers on attack. It's helped them get puck support. It's helped them get pucks back under normal circumstances when they wouldn't, and it's made it a line that to me is just as dangerous without the puck as they are with the puck. They can create offense from their checking now and their hunt, and that's a good sign.
This group had a tough time winning the close one-goal games last year. What are you seeing as to why they are way out in front when it comes to games decided by a single goal?
Well, I think we have fun playing in those games. I mean, that's hockey. That's the fun part. Whether it's 1-0 or 3-2 or 4-3, I think those are fun games to be in. There's lots at stake. You get to see exactly what you got. You get a proper evaluation on the players. I mean, that's the best part of hockey, is winning. Like, I don't think there's a better feeling in the world than winning a close-fought game. And if you're going to win in the National Hockey League, you have to play comfortable when the game is tied or you're up or down 1 goal. You got to feel comfortable playing in those games and extend it. And I think this team is beginning to trust its work. And when you trust your work, you know you're going to get points late. You're going to carry games deep into games and be right there. And I think that's the biggest change for me, is they really do trust their work, and they feel that at the end of the day, if they stay on the program and stay with it, that they're going to get points at the end of the night.
I know fans like to see best on best. From a coach's perspective, would you like to see as much of Connor McDavid versus Elias Pettersson tonight?
No, I would like to see a lot of Connor and less of that guy. And he's a good player. I mean, he's a smart player, and can't push him out of the games. But their line is good. Their line has 3 different elements and 3 different players. It all complements each other, so they're a tough line. I think the days of checking people and hard matchup, it's almost impossible now. And I think you play and you hope you got the right people on the ice. But in most cases, when you got a top line, whether it's our line or their line, you got to use 2 lines, and we're lucky because we have the Brodziak line that can play against anybody, which is a great sign for us.
You've always been good at reaching players on a different level, Hitch. A guy like Lucic, where you've got him in a bottom 6 role, maybe free him up a bit, do something to help the team as opposed to worrying about goals or salary. Is that the message to a guy like Luch? That line's been pretty good for you.
Yeah, well, I think his value system had to change.
Yeah.
You know, you go through stretches where you're scoring or you're not scoring. At the end of the day, it's how do you impact the game. It's like for us, a guy like Larson, Luch is like Larson. Same for us. Adam Larson and Luch eat up heavy, hard minutes. I mean, Luch is out there against top players, big man playing against quickness, and Larson's the same thing. They eat up such huge minutes at critical times. You need those guys, but their value system has to change. They got to focus on who they're pushing out of the game, who they're playing against, rather than the points they're getting. And I think Luch has done a great job in buying into that. And quite frankly, he's now getting all kinds of scoring chances every game because of it. And we're starting to use them like we did the last game, where if we feel like a line is playing too light and they're not getting the puck stopped in the O-zone, we'll push Luch into that line like we did with last game with Spooner and Kajula.
What do you see in Puljujarvi, potential-wise?
Well, I think his speed and quickness as a checker is going to allow him to have offense. He created 6 scoring chances the last game, strictly based on checking. He got 4 of them himself. And I think those are going to, in a month, those are going to start going in. But I love the way the guy plays the game without the puck.
Can you talk about how Mikko's been playing?
The goalie?
Yes.
Okay.
It's that coach's call. Okay.
They stop the puck, they're good. They don't, they're no good. So he's stopping the puck, so he's doing good.
We've got a pair of pretty hot goaltenders right now. What does that mean for your team?
Well, I think it's what you have to have in the West. You need 2 goalies that can stop the puck. If you don't have 2 goalies, you can't win in the West. There's too much travel, too many hard games, too many 3 and 4 nights with big travel. You need competent guys, and even your backup has got to get you 18 to 20 wins. So if you don't have 2 goalies, I don't believe you can make the playoffs in the West. And we're lucky. We got 2. We got a 1 and 1A, and I don't even know who it is week to week. The one difference for me is Koskinen has seen way more scoring chances in zone, and Talbs has seen it off the rush. That's the big difference. And Talbs has made unbelievable saves. He's had a lot of 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 4-on-2s, and he's had to make big saves. But we got 2 guys that really can stand tall.
You've always challenged your players. Today's players, the young guys, Hitch, do they challenge you? Do they have opinions? Do they want to know? If you're going to lay down the law, is there some dialogue there?
Yeah, I think the big change, and I think we've blown through millennials now. We're into the I generation. This is the most prepared group of athletes I've ever seen in my life, physically, mentally. I think you have to tell them everything. I think even before you finish your conversation, you got to tell what's in for them, because they're not going to buy in if you just tell them what to do and how to do it. You got to tell them what's in it for them, and then you got to explain that. And sometimes even before you get into the discussion of what you want, you got to be real clear on what the end game is. And if you're not clear on what the end game is, they're not going to buy in.
Hitch, I know you're concentrating on your own team, but, and you touched on his line, but have you had a chance to see some of Pettersson and what he does well? Just your opinion of him as a player?
He finds what's called quiet space on the ice that he can make plays in. He knows where to go on the ice to create room and space to make plays, and it's a very unique quality. It's a high-level hockey IQ, and tough to play against. Can't push those guys out of the game. You just got to make sure you got numbers on the right side, but you can't push them out.
When you don't have a stake in the game, when you were not coaching, when you were like semi-retired for the second time, how did you fill your days? I can't imagine you watching games on TV if you're not.
Yeah,
are you a Netflix guy?
No, I told people
what were you doing, Hitch?
I had a very busy day doing a lot of fun stuff, and then I watched hockey until I got to read, and then turned it off and went into educational stuff, history channels, or there's a station in the U.S. called American Heroes Channel AHC, which is just outstanding. And so I watched hockey until I got the right read, and then I moved on. I never watched games start to finish. I never watched it as a fan, but I watched it to get enough information, what I needed. But I enjoyed the part with Dallas there. It got a little more involved as the season went on. There wasn't a lot of dialogue early because they were just formulating their team. But then once the season started, we got talking a lot, and I enjoyed that type of relationship. But I got to tell you, I don't watch. I watch hockey to get the information I need, and then I turn it off and move on to history channels.